Hello, everyone. This is Grace with Grace on a Journey Channelings. Welcome to the newcomer, and to those returning, welcome back. Thank you for your presence. You're valued and appreciated. Well, everyone, today's message is going to be quite an experience. We are in for a ride. And the reason why is although I am aware of the gifts that I have, there are certain gifts that are more accepted and more understood than others. Due to that, I have to employ or draw more effort into trying to get a message across, reaching the goal of relaying the message and the point thereof. When I make efforts to communicate and channel messages, my goal is not to do it in vain. My goal is to do it, bring the message forth, give you the wisdom or the warning, and guiding you in a direction where healing or transformation for the better is still an option. And so when I do these types of channeling messages, I find it a lot more work, for a lack of a better way of saying it. I have to draw from a lot more energy in order for me to get my point across and for you to benefit in a magnitude rather than it just go over your head or rather than it's misunderstood. What I do, I am very passionate about. I'm very honored to do. But at the same time, I am very dedicated in being the best I can be as far as a vessel. I want to make it clear that what I'm about to say will be controversial. But again, I want to make it clear that your opinions, your validation, your approval is and forever will be irrelevant. And the reason why this must be clear is because, as I've shared before, I have a job to do. Some days it's easier to do it, and some days it's more difficult to do it. But the fact that I show up is what I'm asked to do. And therefore, if what I share is beneficial to you, then by all means, take what you want and leave the rest. If for some reason it is not welcomed, I'm being led to tell you that these channeled messages are anointed and protected. And anyone that tries to misconstrue, bring confusion, or theft, manipulation, anything of a low vibration to my efforts of being a vessel, your judgment is already waiting for you. I'm being told to repeat that. Your judgment is already waiting for you. So be careful. Today's title is an ancestral message. These are I don't want to say the most challenging, but I'll say the most humbling. But I will do my best to make it clear for these souls. One of the reasons why certain souls need a vessel to communicate is because even in your transition, there is need for making things right. There are certain blockages that arise, certain standstills that keep you frozen in time until certain things are brought to clarity. This happens sometimes to those that left before their time, or that left because of criminal activity, or the fact that they were connected to individuals that had karmic debt. And it just so happens they were at the wrong place and at the wrong place at the wrong time and ended up paying the wrong debt. Yes, that happens. And I speak for someone today because he refuses to allow the truth to be hidden. and respect, I will speak for him. There was an individual that passed. I believe it was in 2018. When this person passed, it was in relation to the fact that his adult son was engaged in satanic acts in the shadow. He got struck by debt. His father got struck by his debt. His father wants it known. His passing is in relation to the sacrificing, the targeting, the killing, the stealing. His father paid for his son. Do you understand what I'm saying? The father paid for the son. I said the father paid for the son. Now, before I go into this further, the temperature is rising. It is very hot. There is a lot of anger, a lot of disappointment, a lot of where did I go wrong? Who raised him? I'm receiving a message that he said he always saw it in you. I said he always saw it in you. This is why your relationship never went as farther than it did. He saw your soul in your eyes. He wants you to be unmasked. He wants you to be unmasked because he didn't deserve to fall the way he did. It was because of your greed. Your love of closet life. I'm just relaying the messages. Can I relay the messages? Your love for closet life. Refusing to live in your truth. He said he would have never approved. He's not denying the fact he would have never approved. But he said he always knew. He said he knows that's why you ran away the way you did. He says as he pays for you where he is, he wants you to pay for what you did where you are. He says one of the main reasons this message needs to get out is because other family members are in danger due to connections with you. I said other family members are in danger due to their connection with you. Other family members are in danger due to their connections to you. You don't know God. You have fallen from grace. Your hell belongs on earth. There's a moment of truth that I'm supposed to bring to your attention. I'm being told that there are demons whispering to you that you need to reconnect with your past in order to avoid your judgment. He said they are demons and they do not come in truth. In fact, You have lost your place in line. You are no longer part of the tree of life. That decision was made. It was made by your choosing through your action. It was made through the covenant you made with the bloodline you chose. The ancestral realm knows. I said the ancestral realm knows how the last baby died. I said the ancestral realm knows how the baby died. They also know why the baby died. Confirmation. There is no turning back. There's something I thought. I'm speaking as Grace on a journey right now. There's something I thought I would take to the grave. But I'm being told that I'm going to share it. Judas. Your father Judas do you remember the phrase Lancy Pansy? Judas do you remember the phrase Lancy Pansy? Judas, your father told me about the inheritance. Judas, it was your father that told me about your your criminal activity, Judas. It was your father that told me that. And he wanted me to tell you. He wanted me to tell you. It was he that told me about the inheritance. He said it was designed the way it was designed. Because you never come up to nothing. You never come up to nothing. Anything you touch, anything that surrounds you, never comes up to nothing. He told me to count my blessings. Count your blessings. There's some things I don't want to say. I'm just being honest. There's some things I don't want to say. But I must say it. I'm just going to address what I'm told to say. Because the person this is addressed to knows this is confirmation. Your days are numbered. Your days are numbered. There's someone in your circle, Judas, someone you put too much of your trust in, Judas, that helped to take your father out, Judas. You know who they are, Judas. Judas, you know who they are. Judas, you're hiding. You're hiding. You're hiding who took your father out, Judas. My God. I'm going to end with this because I see it. The judgment for covering who took your father out. In 3D illusion, but with spiritual effort, as above comes below. Right, Judas? You know that, Judas, right? You know what was done in the shadows, right? Wicked. That's just wicked. Man, I can't even be mad no more. I can't even be mad no more, Judas. If you can let that go, who am I? Who am I, Judas? Why should I expect any more good graces when you could let that go, Judas? You did it for the gram, huh, Judas? This is why the wealth that you were so determined to gain, even with your sacrifices, will never generation after generation after generation, we don't have all day, will never be yours. Message relayed. The first card I have you're not trustworthy, Judas. You're not trustworthy. You've also fallen from grace. You have chains around your neck. You've sold your soul to the dark side. That is your truth. Next card. Victim mentality. Self-imposed restriction. Negative thoughts. Woe is me, right, Judas? Woe is me. You aim to destroy, to steal, to kill everything that you cross paths with. But everyone else is to blame. Victim mentality. Self-imposed restriction. No, I have the right to harm. Right, Judas? You have the right to harm because you believe your life is restricted. You believe nothing comes easy to you. You believe everyone is in line to be sacrificed for your gain. Is it not, Judas? Negative thoughts. You concentrate on darkness. The wicked thoughts overwhelm you. Those thoughts that you're terrified would show your soul's portrait, if ever seen. Next card is telling me your aim should be obedience. Obedience in relation to respecting boundaries. No is no. No is no, Judas. No is no. I recall you once saying, you don't care if I say no, because you'll just take what you want. Remember that, Judas? Judas, do you remember that? God remembers it too. The world will remember it now. Next card is your astral realm traveling. The rapes that you do in the astral realm, Judas. The contracts. The forgery. The theft, the hidden treasures. It says willing to do anything. Right, Judas? The next card speaks of envy. Envy of life. Anything that has the sight of life, you're envious of. And when I speak of Judas, I'm speaking of Judas and the spirit of Judas, because many people carry the spirit of Judas. Right, Judas? Next card. Go now. Whoever is in connection with anybody that has been contaminated by these demonic influences. Clearly, it would be in your best interest to separate permanently. Next card is pray. You better pray. You better pray. It's time to pray. It's time to build a foundation on prayer. To find improvement. Regardless of the delays around it, continue to stay in worship. See, what I'm getting by the next two cards is that we all have choices. There's light, there's dark. And with that knowledge, we all have to nurture ourselves. And it is time for us to begin nurturing ourselves with the light. instead of infusing ourselves with the dark. With the illusion of power. God complex. Use your energy for the light. Rather than stealing, energy harvesting, killing, rather than use your efforts in those areas, you are being guided to nurture yourself. Use your energy in attracting self-love. Not manipulating others or doing come to me, follow me, surrender to me spells. Nah. It's time to nurture yourself. And teach yourself and attract for yourself self-love, self-care, not energy harvest so that others can provide for you, pay your bills. Be responsible for you. Attract self-care into your life. Those mantras that you say, those 369 manifestations that you do, how long will it take for you to realize that energy of low vibration that you connect to these skills are no longer fruitful? How much more evidence do you need to accept those energies that you attach to these skills are no longer effective? Instead of calling someone who does not want you, as a matter of fact, doesn't even like you, over and over and over, to no avail. It is time for you to use those same efforts and that same energy towards yourself. Confirmation. Towards yourself. Love yourself. If someone walks away from you, love yourself. Any energy, any intention, any effort in the direction of putting someone else in bondage, binding them, enslaving them, manipulating them, overpowering them, taking over their will, has a debt. It's called karmic debt. It is what you are witnessing in your lives. And this is one of the reasons why I am convinced you are possessed. I am convinced you are possessed because the fact that you are presently in a season of judgment due to the low vibrational reoccurrences in your life. Yet you still engage in these same directions, knowing of further infliction. How could you not be possessed? No, really, how could you not be possessed? And the sad part of it is, an exorcism is not going to cure it. Your soul must align with the exorcism. Therefore, if your soul chooses dark, if your soul is not in intent to purify, to rise in vibration, to be like God, the efforts of an exorcism is null and void. And this is why you find yourself in these repetitive cycles, because it is at your core. It is at your core because you refuse to do the work. Going to counseling for an hour a week and an exorcist for an hour a week and energy healing for an hour a week. Whatever your healing module is, in order to heal, you must have enough skill to continue that journey every second of the day. When you're not in support group, you have to have the will to listen to a podcast or listen to a frequency or take a walk or drink something that will boost your immunity or pray or journal, or volunteer, or do an act of kindness. It is a lifestyle. It is not going to counseling for 1 hour, energy healing for 1 hour, having a spiritual practitioner connect with you and give you a spiritual bath for 1 hour, going to church for 1 hour, and then going home and reconnecting with demons. That is nothing else but a cycle of insanity, of doing all of these efforts and going home to drink. Going home to sniff. Going home to shoot up. Your arm, your nostril, can we say self-sabotage? You are in the conditions you are, those with the spirit of Judas, because you refuse to stop running away from yourself. You refuse to stop running away from the mirror. You refuse to accept your last effort at mirror magic to conduct your evil gave you a reflection of your soul when the mirror broke. Who's lying? I said your last effort. At mirror magic. With evil intent. Resulted in the reflection of your soul, confirmation, when the mirror broke. You are broken to the soul. Do you understand the urgency of you? The crisis of you. The danger of you. Let me repeat the previous card. Nurture. Nurture yourself. Why does this say, release your ex? The time has come to clear your energy. Okay. Now I know I've released every Judas I've ever encountered in my entire existence. But someone out there may still be in the stage where they need to release. And I can explain from my journey that there were times when this was brought to my attention much earlier on. And my response was, well, what does that mean? I have. But then it was also brought to my attention there is more than one way of release that is required. It is mind, body, and soul. You may have released them physically. Has your mind released them? Are you obsessed with the thought of them? Whether it is to kill, steal, or destroy. Are your thoughts obsessed with them? Because until you release them, you are in your own man-made prison. Because they've moved on. And they left you since dawn. Only you can save yourself. Those of you that refuse to throw away the gifts that person gave you, or objects that remind you of the person, or going to places that reminded you of the person, or participated in activities that remind you of the person. Those of you that refuse to release these things have not released your ex. Until you can delete all the pictures, throw them away. Not listen to any songs in common. Not wear any jewelries exchanged. No longer connecting to the groups that were familiar or mutual. Deleting the social media, the phone numbers, blocking, changing your number, no longer being open to updates by similar circle. Did you know he did this? Do you know she did this? Until you release these things, you have not released your ex. Now I'm being led to clarify that as I live out loud, it brings healing to those who are beginning their journeys, who are in similar states in their journeys, or who are healing just a last bit of something they thought was already healed. But there are some of us that have released, banished, cut the cords. From all realms, all dimensions, past, present, and future. Ashe. Who are still called to live out loud to teach those to give light to those and to guide those on similar journeys. I have released with gratitude, with thanks, with praise, with honor, and thanksgiving. From being uprooted from the darkness to the light. Because God does not approve of manipulation. God does not approve of binding, faulty contracts, fraudulent marriages, energy harvesting, theft, your curses, your black magic, your hexes. God does not approve of the destinies being stolen. And so he shows his chosen favors. Permanent favors. Eternal favors. As above, so below, forevermore favors. You're being called to meditate and contemplate. In other words, review your life and make it right. Understand it doesn't stop here. The next stop is transition. You've earned your better or for worse. Next card is destiny. The wheel of fortune. Fate. Opportunity. Movement. Changes. Trust God to position you where you need to be. Whatever issues you have that are affecting you, know that your situation is set to improve. Those who fall under Dharma and who've paid their debt to karma. Next card is Fountain of Wisdom. Give success in all ventures. Following it, good news. Follow your heart. See, whenever there is good news, it comes with another extreme, correct? As I've covered before, balance is the fruit of the universe. So with this card of good news, following it is trickery. Would you believe next to trickery, it says reconciliation with friends? Is it friends or frenemies? Just the question. Pay attention. Next card is take charge of this situation. Everyone has choices, right? You could keep your grass growing tall, or you can cut the grass low and identify the snakes slithering. Connected to that card, taking charge of the situation, is victory news. So that's telling me as you take control of the situation, take charge of the situation, and act in wisdom, of course. Victory. Victory. I said victory. Is hand in hand with taking charge of the situation. Next card. Fire and passion. Connected to your dreams are blooming more rapidly than you realized. Still, they need nurturing and patience. I can tell you, I've learned patience. And this is why certain things, certain seasons, trials are set for you to come across, because as you overcome them, you gain the strength that you once did not possess. Today I'm more patient. I'm more thorough. I'm also more alert, more observant, more assertive with my boundaries, more unapologetic. You see, you have to go through some things in order for you to arrive at different plateaus in life that are instrumental in assisting you to complete certain tasks that are fated. And so as you go through your moments of challenge, a gentle reminder is to ask God for a clearer picture in order for you to gain all the perspectives necessary so you can avoid having to repeat a cycle that could be a thing of the past. The goal is forward motion. Disconnect from stagnation. The next two cards, a new romantic cycle begins. Extend your light-hearted energy to others. Now a new romantic cycle begins has the picture of the scales of balance, right? And the extend your light-hearted energy to others guides you to be open with your heart, using what you've learned, which is being thorough, using your discretion, being patient, following your intuition, being observant, and so forth. God is equipping you with the skills you need from your journey in order to succeed at the next level of blissing. I gotta keep it real with y'all. Sometimes I read these cards and I'm like, for real though? You want me to say that though? Yo. But I gotta read them for what they are, right? So the next two connected cards, one says Judas. Judas is what I call him. But on the card it says ex-husband. Connected to that, it says isolation. Insecurity. Worry. Financial loss. In relation to a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, that may mean something to somebody. Next card. Intellectual lucidity provides consolation and compensation. Stalemate. Truce. Being at a crossroads. I think that's self-explanatory, do you not? My goodness. Right next to that, balance. Teaches the virtues. Next card. Priorities. Wisdom. Connected to Queen of Cups. Soft, gentle, motherly. You see, this reminds me of, there was this TikTok, I want to call it video or short. I think that's what they call them. But anyway, there was a male in particular sharing that a lot of masculines say the reason why they skip over this feminine and that feminine and the other feminine is because they are aiming for a queen. When in reality, that's the farthest thing from the truth. You see, the queen sets boundaries. I said the queen sets boundaries. And these same masculines who say that they want a queen don't have boundary in their vocabulary. And so they do not speak the same language. And what you do not connect from above and below cannot take effect. When you want a feminine to bow down to you, to have no say, no question, no right, that is not a queen. That is your slave. Even a princess has a say, a right. And so it is time for a number of you to begin to get real as you embrace adulting and know what you really want. The slave girl. Because deep inside you know you are no match for a queen. Your match is for the help that want to wear her shoes, her gown, and sit on her throne. That's your match. Next card is Moon. That's telling me that hidden secrets. Some of us are given the privilege of knowing what we know, or accessing what we can access because of our wisdom, because of our rank, and because of our commitment to stay in alignment with a goal that benefits all. So those that want to wear shoes that don't belong to them, or steal gowns that don't fit them, or sit on thrones that were not made for them, should consider it's not your calling. I'm being led to say something. I find myself saying sometimes, are you sure? Are you sure you want me to take it there? 100% of the time, they're sure. But when you have a calling over your life, you work for God, it's accompanied by compensation. For those of you who didn't know, now you know. It's accompanied by protection. For those of you that never heard of it before, now you hear. It's accompanied by favor. Those of you that are witnessing, see it. And so the days of the foolery that has gone on generation in, generation out, generation in, generation out for centuries, are no longer permitted. There's a season for everything. The universe runs in cycles. fighting the cycles, or the moon. I said, or the moon. I said, or the moon because those who know. Will just leave you to defeat. But your efforts are still regarded as humorous. I just relay the messages. Humorous in nature, but ineffective in achievement. This is a card that says, your loved ones are doing fine. Let go of worries. And feel their loving blessings. As I just said, we are not alone. Everything you do is being observed. As a matter of fact, everything you do is being recorded. Those of you who didn't know, now you know. Those of you who refuse to believe in the angelic realm will soon believe in the angelic realm. Okay. This is why you have no secrets. Wake up. This is why those who are connected are forewarned and guided and favored. While those of you that rely on your own merits and your own magic, low vibrational as it is, we rely on our spiritual support team 24/7. Eyes closed, eyes open, they on it. And this is why we speak with courage, wisdom, and at times, humor. Because just heard a tone that is informing me of the presence of the angels. As I was saying, we are not alone. There's going to be a need to change the way of doing things because of the rapid karma that will be attached to those things you have no business doing. I'm also being told that the spirit realm knows that some of you no longer want to be here. And this is why you do what you want to do, because you don't want to be here. They know this. But they're not going to make it easy for you. And regardless of you wanting to be here or not wanting to be here, you will be here until the place they have for you is ready for you. There's someone here that needs to hear this message. As a matter of fact, these are the last two cards. One is worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. Connected to emotions running high. I'm being told to tell you that trust the same wave that brought you this far. Trust the same wave that brought you this far. It doesn't matter how things look like. It doesn't matter how much you understand. But trust the same wave that brought you this far. I can testify you won't regret it. You won't, people. You won't regret it. There are certain emotions that one can feel on earth that you did not know existed on earth. And I am not speaking of anything negative or harsh or misfortunate. I'm speaking of perfection, assurance, A contentment that you're still processing. A smile on your face that you make no efforts in making. A strength that takes no effort. Support that makes you question. Why did it take this long for me to realize how much I'm loved? People. Healing is needed. Healing is needed because I pray that one day you too can experience love in truth, not man-made love, not what I can gain love, not shallow love. But the word, the essence, the embodiment of love. I am what I am in the eyes of God. Nothing more, nothing less. I am what I am in the eyes of God. Nothing more, nothing less. I am what I am in the eyes of God. Nothing more, nothing less. Peace.